Welcome to the Bronx Journal. I am your guest host, Heather Mangal. Most of us have been affected by the economy in a number of ways, but how has the economy affected our pets? A growing number of pets have been sent to shelters since the recession began, simply because their owners cannot afford to take care of them anymore. To discuss the Animal Care and Control Center of New York City and how they help New York City animals, with us today is the Director of Development and Communications, Mr. Richard P. Gentles. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Great. I understand that you are the largest pet organization in the East Coast, and you operate outside of New York City within all 5 boroughs of the city. How did you begin, and how did you get to where you are today?
Well, I've been with Animal Care and Control of New York City for 7 years now, and I played a number of different positions, including the Director of Operations, which ran the shelters, and then I also worked with administrative services and focusing budget and human resource issues, and my current position as Development Director and Communications, as you had mentioned. I've always had a love for animals, and at the time I was working for the City of New York, and some positions became available within Animal Care and Control, and I applied and was fortunate enough to get one of those positions. And I've been there again for 7 years, and I loved every minute of it. There wasn't one time where I said to myself, what am I doing here, because it was so different than what I had been doing in the past. But the love for animals was always there, and the management skills, right, and the wanting to make a difference and improve the operations.
And tell me a little bit about the organization.
Well, we are, as you had mentioned, contracted by the City of New York to provide animal care and control services. We are a nonprofit organization, which a lot of people don't realize is that we can do fundraising. We are contracted by the city, but we are not a city organization, and there's a lot of confusion to that. So it allows us the ability to raise funds, whether they be in-kind donations or monetary donations. And we have operations in all 5 boroughs. There are 3 full-service shelters and 2 pet receiving centers. We also have a field rescue service where our field officers will go throughout the 5 boroughs rescuing injured, sick, and abandoned animals. And we also have a very vibrant volunteer program, a foster program, and a bunch of other supporting programs to help us with the 43,000 animals we rescue and care for each year.
Wow. And tell me a little about the field rescue operation.
Well, they are really the front line of what we do. The animals come into us in a number of different ways, right, including owners bringing pets in, Good Samaritans finding pets on the street and bringing them directly into our shelters. But there's those pets on the street, those animals on the streets, particularly dogs, that don't have a way of getting into us. So we have, and a lot of times they're trapped, they're in abandoned buildings, they're injured, and we need skilled staff that are able to handle the animals without getting hurt and without the animals getting hurt further. And again, they operate in all 5 of the boroughs, and they provide a tremendous service to the city.
And also some of the reasons why they're coming in is because their owners can't afford to take care of them anymore, so they bring them to you hoping that they will find a new home.
And that does happen. It happens often. We've thankfully have a program in place. It's called Pets for Life, and we've partnered with Humane Society of the United States. And that program recognized the problem. It's been in existence for a number of years now, and we saw that when the recession first hit, that there was about 100 phone calls to that hotline a month. As the recession progressed and times got worse, we went up to 400 and 500 calls. And what the calls are is people that are in financial trouble, whether their pet is ill or injured and they can't afford the medical care, they can't afford food, they lose their home and they can't afford to take the animal with them. They provide boarding services at low and no cost.
Wow,
so,
that's great.
in our shelters now we have a hotline, so if anybody's coming in and they're really in a desperate situation and they want to surrender their pet, or they have to surrender their pet because there's no other alternative for them, or at least they don't think there is, we ask them to call the hotline, and there's somebody, a representative from the Pets for Life program on the other end, and they walk them through and they let them know what services are available. The goal of the program is to keep pets and people together. We don't want to have to surrender animals. What we found is the program has been so successful, and some of the spay-neuter programs that are going on in the city as well, that we've actually seen a slight decline in the number of animals coming into our shelters.
Even with the recession?
Yeah, even with the recession.
Wow.
Now that doesn't mean that more people are surrendering their pets because of the recession, but we see the total number of animals coming into the shelters are a lot fewer. So it's very promising, but still it's an overwhelming number. I mean, you can imagine almost 120 animals a day showing up your doorstep, and you need to find space for them, you need to care for them, and so it's a daunting task.
Now, there's an image out there that if animals are not found homes, that they are put to sleep or euthanized.
Right.
Does this happen at your shelter, and has this increased with?
Well, thankfully, our euthanasia rate continues to decline, and it continues to be the lowest in New York City history. However, it is still not satisfactory. If we have to euthanize one adoptable animal, that's one animal too many. Our goal is that we don't have to euthanize any adoptable animals.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is we get animals from all different backgrounds, and some are just too aggressive to be adopted, some are just simply too ill, and others is that we don't have the resources. Cats and pit bulls are our biggest challenges, as many shelters across the country experience, is that we get so many cats in that there are simply just too many cats for homes that are available. And pit bulls is that, you know, you have the stigma of the pit bull and that they're aggressive and they don't make good pets. And so we are challenged by that in getting them adopted as well. So those are really two big challenges, is getting the pit bulls and the cats adopted.